Hello guys, AnimeUpRise, how is it going? Welcome back to another video, and this time we're doing an old series. That's right, an old series is coming back to the channel called the Casual Character Discussion. This time, it's not really on an anime character. It's not. It's on a Webtoon character from a Webtoon called Unordinary. So this Casual Character Discussion is on John Doe? Is that it? Is that his name? John Doe? Yeah, this webtoon is one of my favorites. Unordinary is my favorite webtoon of all time. I might make a video on it, like a review of the series, but this one's about on one character specifically, which is John Doe. And by the way, I'm gonna out the gate, I wanna say there's gonna be spoilers. If you haven't read Unordinary and you care about spoilers, don't watch. But if you have read it or don't care about spoilers, then continue on, because I'm gonna be talking about John and everything I like about him. So with that said, let's get on to introductions about John, the character himself. Well, John, in the beginning of the story, is, well, talked about like he is like abilityless, because this world revolves around abilities, and he has none. So he's a cripple. That's what everyone calls him. People without abilities are cripples. He's just a regular human being who cannot fight back. And since this world is built by like the power levels and ability levels, he has one of basically like 1 or a 0, so he can't stand anybody and everyone around him. And in the world itself, only care about strength. So much so that low tiers, their low tier cities don't even get like a police force. No one gives a shit about low tiers. But if you're a high tier, then everyone loves you, right? So I want to say now that John was a cripple at the beginning. But as things progressed in the story, it was revealed that he indeed has an ability. This man is actually a high tier. He's a really strong high tier with an ability level of 7.5, which is a very high tier level, considering one of the highest power levels we've seen in this series is Seraphina with a power level of 8 or 9. I'm pretty sure it's 8 though. But this is about John today. So his ability itself is called aura manipulation. He can copy other people's abilities. So basically, his ability is to copy other people's abilities and use them, and not even just copy them. He improves on their abilities themselves. He builds up on their abilities, so even if he copies them, like exactly, when they fight, he still beats them because his abilities are a nudge better than the original. And so that's just so sick, because he can take on the whole royal squad by himself and still emerge victorious. And it's so cool. Unordinary is so cool. John himself is just good. Like, you think he's a really strong main character who has a badass ability, who was thought to be a cripple for most of the series, but he was just hiding it. And let's get into why he was hiding it. Well, John himself, he may be strong, he may be the main character, he may be a good guy on the surface, but that's where we get into John's past. John himself is not a good person. No, he's not. He wanted to get back everybody who bullied him in the past because he had no ability back in his old school at New Boston. So when he figured out he can get stronger by his friend Elaine, I think her name is, his old friend in New Boston, this man trained and got better at his ability, honed his skills, and soon enough, as he got better with his ability, he became arrogant. And he didn't care what anyone says. He was arrogant and he beat people up way too far past the point of, like, he would send people to the hospital. It wasn't just a regular old school fight anymore. No, people would be going to the hospital, sent there for days, not like a week, because in this world, people can get healed in like matters of hours, but they would be in there for days. So John himself is very violent and arrogant, and he wanted to get back at the people who hurt him. And this is why, in many cases, when people suddenly find out they have abilities in the world of Unordinary, they're seen to be as failures because they don't receive the same teachings as regular high tiers. They don't receive like the morals and follow society rules. No, they get none of that because no one believes they have any power. But since John got his ability back and he figured out he had a good ability, he didn't get those and he was taking revenge. He got stronger, he got to the top of the school, he became the king and all of that. But since he was arrogant and he would listen to nobody, his heart was closed. He wouldn't listen to anybody, and he just sat there, and he slowly got worse and worse, more violent. People even looked at him the wrong way. Then this man would just beat them up or give them a look or, just be malicious, and nothing would be good about it. And so one day in his past, this girl, Elaine, his best friend, comes in and leads an army and betrays him. And he beats the entire mob, army of people she gathered together to stop him up by himself, including Elaine. And he was called a monster. And after that, it leads up to the point of the story, because he gets counseling and some traumatizing counseling, and he turns into someone who doesn't want his ability. He hates himself. He doesn't like his ability. He doesn't like getting arrogant. He doesn't like getting over the head. Doesn't like his easily angered self. So he turns into someone like a hero from the Unordinary book his dad wrote, which is now banned, by the way. But that's for a review. If you guys want me to do more Webtoon videos, then I will do that. But John himself is just an angry, arrogant kind of asshole guy when he gets down to it. But since he was able to hold himself back and not do any of that, then John himself was good. But John is just an amazing guy. Well, he's not an amazing guy. He's a bad person. He shut out everybody. He has trust issues. He's a broken person all around. He has issues everywhere. But what I like about John is that, I like him as a person because I can see where he's coming from. People only give a shit if you're strong, and that's what John believes. No one cared about him when he was a cripple. And when he became too strong to handle, that's when the high tiers said, okay, let's care about the low tiers. Let's see things from the low tiers point of view. But only after he showed himself. It wasn't before then that they made the safe house. It wasn't anything like that before, because no one was stronger than them, and they didn't care. They only care about it now because John finally came into the picture. They only care about that because they want to be safe from him and from stuff like that. John himself it makes sense how he's right, because he definitely is. Because they don't care at all. As soon as John came in the picture, they started to care. And that's very good timing, if you ask me. But what I like about, I like his little thing right there. I like his little redemption arc. I liked his little thing about wanting to get back at the people who hurt him. And I can see it, because he is just doing what they're doing. Everyone's getting mad at him because he's doing what they're doing. He's overdoing it a lot, but they're just getting mad at him for doing what they're doing to other people. He's abusing his power, and so were they. Right? But since he's beating up high tiers, everyone seems to care. But it's nice to see the high tiers, especially Arlo, get his ass kicked. But it's also nice to see later John get what's coming to him as well. But John is a really fun protagonist. It's cool to see him not be like the typical happy-go-lucky protagonist. He has issues. He has mental problems and anger issues as well. He's not the perfect character. He's human, and I like to see that. So if you want to go check out Unordinary, go to Webtoon, go find it somewhere, go check out Unordinary. It's a pretty good show, or manga, or Webtoon, or manga, whatever you want to call it. Go give it a read. I recommend it wholly. That is the Webtoon I recommend the most to anybody trying to get into Webtoon. Not Tower of God, not God of High School, not whatever the vampire one. I don't even remember that anymore, and I watched it, the anime for it. But yeah, I don't recommend any of those. It's not Ordinary that I recommend. That or Dice. Dice is cool. But there's some really cool stuff that happens in the story, especially in the Fast Pass stuff, like his development. I like this. If you want to go check it out, then go check it out, because it's really good. So with that said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like. It's kind of cool being back into doing anime content once again, and just talking about Webtoon and stuff like that. It's kind of refreshing. But with that, like I said before, like, subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you guys on next time. Johnny.